What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing their tier list. This time I'm going to be switching up genres once again. Last time we did sports. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit more personal and a little bit different than what I usually do. But I thought I saw it on the tier list maker website, so I decided to check it out. I won't be able to do all of them, but I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all right here. So here we have it. Is a relationship red flag tier list. So we're just going to be going over all these. There's like over like almost like 200 of these. So we're not going to be able to do all of them in one video. If this video does well enough, I'll do a part 2 at some point. But we have quite a few tiers, 7 tiers, ranging from good to bad. And yeah, we have a bunch of different ones. And yeah, man, I'm thought it was going to be interesting to do a video on. I was kind of like running out of ideas what to upload today. I really wish the advertisement would get the fuck out of my face. Where's my ad blocker at? Yeah, I couldn't block ads, so we're just gonna have to deal with the ads as they come in. So anyway, guys, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the tier list. So we're gonna start off with different political alignments. I don't think this really matters. If anything, it depends on the situation. But I really don't care if someone supports a different political candidate at all, as long as they don't shove it in my face, which I think goes into the next one, which is invested in politics. Now, if they're invested in politics, and especially especially with being in different political alignments, like they're just completely shoving in my face that I'm of a different political party from them, and then they tell me I'm an evil person for not completely agreeing with their political views. Yeah, that's bad, but not much. It's not a deal breaker, but it's unless he's doing it or they're doing it constantly. But yeah, practice a religion that you're not involved with. Yeah, I don't really care. Lives with their parents. I guess that kind of depends on the situation. Really, to me, it's not like terrible or anything. Especially like typically, actually, I ain't gonna say that, but I really don't care that much. Especially if I have my own place, they can just move in with me. So I don't really care that much, to be honest, unless they're like just absolute bums. Choose loudly. I mean, I don't really care about if they chew loudly. That's just I don't really. I mean, if honestly, it'd be like not the worst thing. Like I don't really like it, but it's whatever. Orders the fast food option at specialty restaurants. Who cares what they order? I mean, this is like the cheaper option. If that's what they like, that's what they like. I really do not give a fuck. I mean, it'd be kind of weird. I'd be like, okay, we have this like good ass fucking steak with like whatever, and like she gets like chicken tenders with fries. Like, sure, it's like weird, but like I don't really care that much. Being a picky eater, depends on the situation. It's like they just like will not even try new things at all, or if they get upset with me eating certain food that they don't like, then yeah. But other than that, I don't really care. Inconsistent communication. I don't see how in any world this would be a good thing. Like if they just ghost you for a week, bro, I'm instantly done. That's a deal breaker if I ever see them. If am invested in this person and we are texting consistently for like 3, 4, maybe even a week, and then they just fucking just completely cut all communication. They're leaving me on red or whatever, and they just aren't responding. And I'm like, if I would have to double or even triple text you, bro, I'm not texting you at all. If they never text me back, then that just shows that they are just not interested. Even if it's like they were interested and they just are terrible at communicating, then it's just not even worth even trying to get into that. Dismissive of your feelings and or opinions, yeah, it's pretty bad too. Absolutely, just ignoring what you want or your opinions is just a way to get absolutely fucking them to control you in any way they want. Like, which completely goes into this one as well. I mean, if they're controlling or dismissive, I mean, those kind of go hand in hand. Because if they're dismissive of your feelings or opinions, then they're going to use that to control you. Because your word does not matter, your feelings do not matter. So they'll use that to control you. And it's just, if they're controlling, I don't see how any of that could be a good thing, to be honest. Lack of accountability. I mean, that's not as terrible as the other things, I think. they can't take accountability. It just shows that they're immature. But I mean, maybe at some point they'll grow up, or if you explain to them that they're being immature, and if they don't, just fucking this, or I don't know. If they lack accountability, it just shows how they're immature, and that could definitely have problems in a relationship. And I probably typically wouldn't care unless they are literally doing it every single time. If they do it like once in a while, then whatever. But bro, what are these ads? I saw a chick just fucking cup her own tits. God damn. It's the second time I saw the same Peacock ad. I can't block ad blockers, but they be putting any fucking ads they want on here. Willing to address or resolve conflicts. That's also pretty bad. Yeah, bro, if we get in an argument, we gotta settle it some way or another. We can't just leave that shit in the air, because then I feel like that would cause resentment for each other. Like not being able to resolve conflicts. I mean, like then we'll both not think we're in the right, and then when it comes up again, then we'll just explode at each other again. It has to come to a consensus at some point, or we'll never move on from it, and it'll just completely just ruin every time it's even vaguely brought up. But it's not an instant deal breaker. Passive aggressive. Yeah, if you're passive aggressive, then we won't make it very far in past the talking phase, I'll be honest. Lack of emotional availability. I'm not even sure if I know what emotional availability means. Hold on. The capacity to form and maintain healthy emotional connections with others involving openness, vulnerability, and ability to express and receive emotions. So how would you even get into a relationship with someone who isn't open to expressing or receiving emotions? That's like 99, that's like all of a relationship is emotions. Yeah, that's instant. Like how would you even get into a relationship with someone like that? Excessive jealousy. Yeah, that can get annoying if they're jealous all the time, because then they'll fucking throw that shit at you. Like I've seen some women that like just cannot stand their man even talking to a woman or looking at them. So yeah, that's not terrible. It's not like a deal breaker, but it's fucking pretty fucking bad. It's pretty low on the bad but manageable to be excessively jealous at every time. Like I can't even talk to any. I can't have female friends. I can't even talk to a female to say thank you or anything. I can't even like look a woman's way. Like yeah, that could definitely be a problem. Constantly negative. That's not the worst thing. I mean, there are a lot of pessimistic people out there, especially these days. I feel like you could honestly get used to that and it wouldn't be that bad. So honestly, not the worst thing. I mean, it'll suck in certain situations if they're always like, you know, what's the word? Like always down and never willing to look at the bright side of things. But it's not like it's not the worst thing. Disregards boundaries. That depends on the situation. Depends on what boundaries they're disregarding. Can't really say I have too many boundaries that I can think of right now, but taking my phone whenever they want, or like invading my privacy whenever they want, and just like, or like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a few things I wouldn't like that would be a boundary that they'd pass, but I really don't have too many, so I don't think it really depends on the situation there. Doesn't have the same music taste whatsoever. I feel like that could be a good thing, because then that'll give me actually, depends on the situation actually, because if they're like, if we're in the car and I want to listen to my music, and she's like, no, and turns that shit off immediately, or switch to her music, and I listen to her music every single time we're together, and it's like a music that I just simply do not like, because I like most genre of music, but I cannot listen to the same genre of music every single time I listen to music. I need to switch it up, or I'll lose my mind, or I'll just like not have music at all. So if she's like, say she's only into country music, and that day I want to listen to fucking like rock or hip hop or something, and she's like no, and turns that shit off and then puts country on, I'm probably just gonna rather have that shit in silence. I'm not gonna lie. So it depends on the situation. If she likes multiple genres of music and switches it up, then it wouldn't be too bad. One uppers. What the fuck is one uppers? Oh, like they want to constantly be better than you, one up you. I don't know if I really even care about that, to be honest. Excessively compliments? Shit, why would I not like that, to be honest? I guess you could say that it would become like less genuine if she does it or they do it like fucking obsessively. But I just don't care. I fucking love compliments. So never compliments. It's not the worst thing. I mean, you gotta get that positive reinforcement every now and again, or it'll just kind of like feel a little hollow. Only constant compliments physical attributes. That doesn't matter. Any compliment's a good compliment for me. Constantly late. That could be. Honestly, it's bad but manageable, except like, especially if they the types. Cause I've seen these types of women on like social media and shit, where like they're like I think being late and is cute, but like if you're late all the time and you do that shit on purpose, dude, that shit can be infuriating. Especially like if you're going out together and you have like a reservation to some place, or you need to be somewhere at a certain time, and she's always fucking late, and you have to go as a group, bruh. I think I'd get to the point where I'd just fucking leave her behind. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, that could be bad, but it could be manageable as well. Like I said, last minute cancels. That's bad but manageable as well. That would definitely be annoying, especially if you're already ready and shit, and you're like fucking waiting for that text to the green light basically, and they're like, nah. You know, when you're already like invested into doing this thing, yeah, fuck that. Rude to service and retail staff, yeah, that's a fucking deal breaker, bro. Because they're gonna be rude to random strangers, especially like waiters, cashiers, all like they're just trying to do their fucking job. And if you're just fucking rude to them for absolutely no reason, either you could just be having a bad day, like nothing's going right. And if you're just take it out on random people, especially people who are trying to help you and serve you and just trying to do their fucking job, they already get paid like shit anyway. And you go there and fucking just absolutely treat them like shit. Like that not only tells me that you're for one immature as fuck, but for two, like you're going to do that to anyone. If you're gonna do it to like people like waiters and fucking cashiers and shit, you will literally do it to anybody who ticks you off, or if you're just in a bad mood. So yeah, that's an instant deal breaker for me. Does not have a single close friend. I mean, I don't really matter to me. It really, I don't really care if you have any friends at all. Like, as long as you're a good person, it doesn't really matter to me. Brags about how good of a liar they are. Yeah, that's not the worst thing, but no, that's pretty bad actually. Because like, if they say they're a good liar, I mean, it doesn't mean they're actually a good liar, but they brag about lying to people. I mean, like, that's just fucking weird as shit. And that just shows that there's probably been a lot of things that they have lied to me and either got away with or they tried to lie and I figured it out, but they still think they're good at it. So they're kind of like delusional. Goes to the gym every day. Every day is a bit excessive, so I won't say I actually like it because you really don't need to go to the gym every fucking day. But I'd say it could be a good thing. I mean, being in shape is a good thing. Never goes to the gym. I don't really care. As long as you look decent and take care of yourself. Has a mental disorder. Depends on what disorder they have. They like bipolar disorder or like was that one fucking split personality disorder shit like where there's fucking absolutely hate your guts and just treat you like absolute shit. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Sorry. But they have something like autism or Down syndrome and shit, and but they're still like functional and shit. Like if they're like literally cannot consent to anything, then obviously fuck no. But if they're just like okay, like you know what I mean? Like if they have like ADHD or fucking ADD or some shit, like I really don't care. But if they have like if they literally cannot consent to anything, or if they're like have like a split personality where they're absolutely hateful at one minute and absolutely on top of you, over you, like all over you the next, I couldn't deal with that shit. Those roller coaster, no. Neurodivergent. The concept appeals brain develop and function in various ways with different differences in thinking, learning, behavior considered normal variation within the human population. That sounds cool as fuck. That's pretty cool. Neurotypical. I don't know why that would matter. But being neurodivergent sounds cool as fuck. Like you have different ways of thinking and shit. Like that always opens you. That'll allow you to open like different perspectives on things that you wouldn't even think of because they're neurodivergent. So that's actually really cool. Being neurotypical like everybody else, then I don't see why that would be a bad thing or a good thing. I guess you can say. I guess I could put it could be good. Makes plans for the future without consulting your preferences. Honestly, that could be a good thing because that can get you out of your comfort zone. You could be like absolutely like certain that you don't want to do this thing, but you never tried it, and then she said, then they'd set plans for it, and you ended up actually liking that choice. Like just because you don't prefer it doesn't mean that's something that's not going to be good for you. You know what I mean? Like there are benefits to coming out of your comfort zone. There's benefits for trying new things, even things that you don't like, because you'll end up even maybe like for example, like I always used to be afraid of roller coasters. All right, and I started riding them as I got older and fucking loved them. But my preference back then would have been I don't want to ride roller coasters, but if someone forced me to do it and I ended up liking it, and now I love roller coasters. So just that could definitely be a good thing. Longest relation never lasted more than a month. That alone really doesn't matter, but that could be signs to like they can't sustain a relationship in a long time. Like the thing is, like, did they these relationships that they had, did they break up with them or did they break up with them? Like how did they end? Like that definitely matters. But being in a relationship that never lasted more than a month doesn't really matter that much to me. Multiple exes within the same year. That kind of depends. That kind of depends for real. Because like I say, it's like the same thing as here. Like why does she have that many, or they have that many exes? Like what happened? Like was it going through a phase? Was it like they got broken up with because of this and this? Like I mean, of course they wouldn't give you like the actual story, but at least I wouldn't expect them to. But never been in a relationship. Yeah, I don't really think that matters either, to be honest. Experience really doesn't matter if they're a good person and shit. Puts a lot of labels on themselves. Depends, I think. I don't really go into that though. Constantly brings up an ex. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Even if it's a bad thing, like they're always bad mouthing their ex. And God forbid it's a fucking good. They're talking about how good they were, like they were the one that got away or some shit. Like then that just puts you down, makes you feel like you're fucking like a piece of shit. And that honestly might be a deal breaker, to be honest. But the only reason I don't put it in bad but manageable because if they're talking bad about them, but it's still a bad thing. Like that shit in the past. You shouldn't be bringing up your ex like hardly at all. Like this is a chance for you to get into a new relationship, not try to fix the past relationship or try to compare it to the past relationships. Because every person is going to be fucking different. You're not going to be have an exact clone of your ex. I don't know why you would want that when clearly y'all's relationship didn't work out. Doesn't really make any sense. Lacks empathy. That's pretty bad too. Actually, that might be an instant deal breaker. If they just don't care about anyone but themselves, pretty much, and they can't even like they see, obviously not being empathetic is pretty fucking weird. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just weird as fuck. Males with only male friends, females with only female friends. I don't see why that could matter. You could say that could be a good thing because now the female doesn't have male friends, and a lot of people say like male friends with females are just like, they're like lurking in the shadows and shit. So I can see how that'd be a good thing, but to me it doesn't matter. I don't even care if she has male friends, to be honest. Now if she only has male friends, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Because I know for a fact at least a handful of them guys, unless she only has like two or three, but a handful of them guys, bro, they lurking, bro. If they haven't already got together at some point before, bro, they lurking, bro. They preying on your downfall for real. And they be talking shit behind your back too. But if they had like one or two, I don't really care. And the same thing with a male with a bunch of female friends. Like it goes both ways. Like you're just kind of like, what the fuck? I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker. They'd really have to explain themselves. References outdated gender roles. I guess not the worst thing. I don't really know what to say about that, to be honest. You can find their whole life on social media. Now, excessively posting on social media, being like chronically online, could not the worst thing, but I can't really see anything good coming out of that. I really can't see anything coming good out of that. Because then you'll get posted on that bitch and people just talk shit. And you see so many people on TikTok talking about how they are not in perfect relationships, or any social media platform. They're telling how they're not in perfect relationships, and all you see in them comments is Well, if it ain't perfect, then you better divorce or you better break up with them because they're not the perfect partner. Like even like no one's fucking perfect anyway. There's no perfect relationship. This ain't fucking a fairy tale. So you can social media like if you're constantly on social media where your whole life is on, you're like chronically online, bro. That shit feeds into your brain, bro. And it just could not be any a good thing. No drama, please. I don't say that's a bad thing at all. I actually like that. I'm not a big fan of being part of any drama. A furry, depends. It really depends. I'm not really a big fan of furries, but I won't say it's a deal breaker. But if they're like constantly in that suit, bro, night and day, bro, and they're acting like a fucking dog and shit, like if they have their hobby and they just kind of like, they do it like a hobby, like it ain't their fucking life, and they're like on their fucking hands and knees and shit, barking at me and shit. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to like be in a relationship with someone like that? But if they're just like, they put the suit on every time, they post on social media, they might, you know, do some shit with it, go to like conventions and shit. Like, okay, whatever, you have your shit. Might not be like for me, but as long as they don't try to force that shit on me, whatever, like I don't care. I'm not hurting anything, but you know, only hobbies include a TV, video game, or computer. Not the worst thing. I mean, having a lot of hobbies is a good thing, but only doing like playing video games and that's it. Like they don't even try to do other things would be kind of weird, but it's not terrible. One word replies, yeah, deal breaker. That just immediately says to me that you're not interested. So why should I even put any effort into talking to, like, especially if I talk like say this whole like try to get into a kind of semi deep conversation with them and I can't do it because they don't add anything to the conversation, then yeah, it's not gonna work out. Talk shit behind their friends' backs. Yeah, it's a deal breaker, bro. If they're talking shit behind their friends' back, then they're definitely talking shit behind my back without me knowing, and that's just fucked up. That's just fucked up. I don't like that shit at all. Now, if it's talking shit behind somebody they don't likes back, then whatever. But they're like two faced like that, where like they'll be all fucking friendly and shit with their friends and shit, and they'll be like their fucking day ones or whatever, and then they would go home and they immediately start talking about how much of a bitch they are and this and that, bro. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, no, that's not, no, that's not okay. But like, if it's just like about random people, then I don't really care. Is evicting every story they tell? Yeah, it can be bad. Yeah, I take accountability. It kind of goes into the same thing as accountability. I think it was on here somewhere. Lacking accountability, it's the same shit pretty much. No matter what, you're not always the victim in every story. I thought the lacked accountability was in here somewhere. I guess not, cause I don't see it. But yeah, is the victim in every story they tell? Yeah, I just know that they're fucking trying to manipulate into me into thinking they can do nothing wrong, and I'm just not trying to do that shit. Deal with that shit at all. They act like they're better than everyone else. Yeah, that's just pretty much. I wouldn't really say exactly narcissism, but that's definitely has a lot of arrogance and ego, and I don't see how that could be good in any situation. That would just piss me off, especially if they think they're better at something and they never try to prove it or never have done anything to be better than you at this thing. Like, say you put the work into being a good athlete. Say like you're like you're good on the 100 meter dash, right? You're good in the 100 meters, right? And you'd run it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking better than you," and you try to tell them to do it, and they won't do it. And it's just says like, no. Always need to feel the need to prove themselves. Not the worst thing. I mean, it could get annoying in certain situations for sure, but you know, it's not always a terrible thing. Rude to parents, yeah. I mean, depends on their parents. Now, if their parents are the sweetest people and they've done nothing but they're just nothing but take care of them and be nice to them, then I think it honestly goes up to depends on the situation. Like if their parents are just completely terrible, awful people, then yeah, being rude to them doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, it could be a good thing. But if they're sweet and nice and have done all these things for them and they're still fucking rude to them just for whatever reason, then that'd be goes down an instant deal breaker. So that's like right middle of the road for me. Can't text in complete sentences. Uh, I don't care. Uh, that's one of the like things I care least about is this motherfucker can type in complete sentences. Attention sponge. I mean, it's bad, but not the worst thing ever. They constantly have to be the center of attention, and they kind of embarrass themselves doing it a lot of the times as well. Like, I just kind of like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? You have to make all the big plans. That doesn't really matter to me that much. They want to make all the big plans. Also, doesn't matter to me that much. Honestly, kind of like right here where I could be a fucking good thing because they could plan things. They could plan things that would take me out of my comfort zone and might end up liking it when I would originally wouldn't have even thought of doing it. You know what I mean? Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Always on their phone. Uh, Depends on the situation for real. If they're in the crib and they're always on their phone. I mean, it kind of fits into the chronically online thing again. I'll put it down to not the worst thing. Like if we're trying to be in like a social environment where like we're talking shit or like at a party or something, and we're trying to get sociable and all they're doing is on their phone the whole time, or for like a family gathering or even eating dinner, like how am I supposed to conversate with someone if they're constantly like this at the dinner table or some shit, or like even be able to progress past that first date when I learned literally nothing about them because they're just constantly like this. Like, no. So yeah, it's not the worst thing, but yeah. Into celebrity gossip or reality TV. No, I don't really care. Bad hygiene or does not care to. That's going straight to instant deal breaker, bro. Honestly, that might be the top of instant deal breaker, bro. If they're not, if they fucking smell like shit, nasty ass teeth, crusty ass eyes. Body hair doesn't really bother me that much unless they have like fucking more of that shit than me. I don't really care, especially if we're fucking married or some shit. But if you fucking stink, wear dirty ass clothes, nasty ass teeth, fucking ears full of wax, crusty eyes, greasy ass hair, like, no, I couldn't. No, I wouldn't even look at you. Always wants to eat out. It's like between these two. It's like I don't really care. Likes to go for drinks often. Depends on the situation, really. If they want to go to clubs all the time and get drunk and shake ass, I mean, that could be very bad. If they just want to like drink at the crib every now and again, I mean, it depends on what you think is often. Like often, like once a week, because I drink like once a week, once a week or once every 2 weeks. If that's often to you, then I think often is like twice, 2 or 3 times a week. And if that's the case, and you're going to clubs like 2 or 3 times a week, then you can just stay single. But you should probably just stay single because I don't see how it could ever benefit anyone. But if it's at the crib, I mean, it's still pretty bad. But as long as they're not like an abusive alcoholic or anything, I guess it's not terrible. Struggles with keeping a job. Definitely depends on the situation there. Honestly, not the worst thing I'll put there. I'll say bad manageable life. Let's keep going down because, like, what is the reasons why you can't keep a job? Do you just constantly quit places because you don't like it, or are you getting fired from these jobs because you just suck and are incompetent? Like, but it's not a deal breaker. Calls themselves a nice guy. Doesn't really apply to me, so I'm gonna skip that. Females who affectionately refer to their friends as bitches. I don't really care. Oh, it depends on the situation because if they don't like them saying that, then I'll be like, okay, then she just completely disregards their feelings. But if they are like, yes, bitch, like, I don't really fucking care, man. I don't care. But if they don't like them when they say that, then I'm like, okay, they obviously don't care about their feelings, or you know, whatever. Calls themselves, oh, swears a lot. See, I don't care because I swear a lot as well. Is against swearing. Okay, bro. Not the worst thing. This is bad for me personally because I cuss a lot. If you watch my videos, you know this. I cuss quite a bit. So, if they're like, don't do that, don't do that. But it also depends on the situation because they're obviously I'm not going to swear. It also depends on this one too. Depends on the situation because if they're like, we're at a family gathering or a funeral or somewhere like where you gotta like be respectful, or if there's kids around and shit and like you're just not you just don't care and just cuss, then like I'm gonna be like, okay, you gotta stop. But I think being against swearing is bad because I remember some at the crib playing with the boys and I say some like some shit, and she's like, "You better stop that shit. You're gonna piss me off." Then I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like spicy food. Why would that ever care? Why would that ever matter? I don't care about food. I don't care about their food preferences at all. Like, I don't care and I don't care. I don't care. Does not have a good nor working towards one. Don't care. Has a lot of debt. That's pretty bad. But going back to the food preferences, I just don't care what their food preferences are. I don't care unless they're like they refuse to allow me to eat the food I want to eat because they don't like it. That's the only situation where it doesn't matter. So I guess you could put it in like the dislikes in depends on the situation. Like, because if they're sitting there like, no, you can't eat that because I don't like it, or you can't make that because I don't like it, then that's we're getting to the controlling part of it, and I'm like, fuck that. But if they just don't like it, then why the fuck would I care if they don't like it? But going into hell a lot of debt, yeah, I'm not paying off your debts, and that just shows me that you're completely financially irresponsible and might end up stealing my money or using my money to pay off their debt. And I'm just, no. Having some debt is fine, but having a lot, like generational ass debt, never try outside their hometown. That's kind of weird, but that doesn't really matter to me. Once kids. See, right now, I'd say not the worst thing because I'm not really ready to have children right now. Yeah, I'd just put that. That's just personal preference for me. Does not want kids. I don't really care. I mean, it depends on the situation because, like, I do eventually want to have children. So, like, later in life, if they still don't want kids and they refuse to do it, then that'd really fucking suck. But if they just don't want kids at first, then that's fine. Needs a lot of personal space. Could be a good thing. Could be a good thing because I need my personal space sometimes too. Don't want to get fucking. I mean, I guess it depends because I don't know. That one's kind of weird because I like to have my personal space too sometimes. But it says they need a lot of personal space, so I guess it depends. Likes cartoons. Could be good because I like cartoons. I like cartoons too, man. Hates cartoons. I don't really care as long as they're not making me turn that shit off. Talkative online, but silent RL. It could be a good thing. Could be a good thing there. I don't mind someone who's quiet. I'm quiet myself, so your friends do not like them. Depends. It depends if they're helping me out. They gotta explain to me why they don't like them. They can't just not like them because they don't like them. But then again, like your significant partner, your significant other is more important. Should be more important than your friends in like 99.9 of the cases. So at least in my opinion, extreme involvement with parents. Yeah, I like someone who has a strong relationship with their family. I'm very family oriented myself, so extreme involvement with the parents means that shows me they're very family oriented. So I do like that personally. So that's fine. Anyway, that's about all the time we have for this episode, guys, or this video. So we're gonna end it right there. About 38 minutes in, so we got like over halfway done. If you want to point part two, let me know. I know I didn't go over each one like super in depth because I didn't really have a lot to say about some of these. Some of these are just like objectively bad, so I don't really have a whole lot to say about them. So this is just my opinions. Like I said, this is like you cannot get more subjective than this. So if anything stands out to you, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.